And in theory it's helped us a lot because it's kept Polish eyes away from us. It's actually tight, and they've actually moved into here as well. So the Dutch are absolutely rampant here at the moment. We're going to move against the rebels. We're going to take Newfoundland for ourselves. Again, below the radar, keeping ourselves below the parapet here. Just taking the areas we can look at. Up that way there, just to scout out what is going on. I think we might send this light galleon here, and we can see what's here. We might send an army to Newfoundland if there's any rebels. I believe there's just rebels there, and the council has actually called for us to move against Newfoundland, which we might do. Greetings and welcome to episode 35 of my Empire Total War Darth mod, Knights of St. John campaign, and this, my friends, I left it last time. And before we begin, my friends, I'd like to thank all of the council for their wonderful advice. It's been absolutely exemplary, it really has. And the sort of the key, the underflow, the undercurrent, should I say, of most of the advice is we need to start out to look for two particular distinct fronts. The first is the Russian front in terms of their sort of they're bumping up here into the subcontinent here. Now they have Baluchistan under their control. Remember, we are at peace with Russia. However, they are at war with the Mughal Empire. So there is that potential here to see a very strong ally of ours. And as you can see, our alliance with the Mughal Empire is incredibly strong. They are one of our sort of long-standing and indeed our finest allies. But they are at war with Russia. And Russia is very, very strong at the moment. As you can see here, they control all of Persia. They control, moving into the Urals, as it were. They've got massive amounts of territory. They've even gone as far as Finland under their control. I believe they were threatening Stockholm for a while, but it seems that there has been some kind of potential. I'm not sure there's a peace accord between them or not. No, there's not. But they are at war with a lot, including the United Provinces and also Spain. So they are against some very powerful allies. Now, some enemy, should I say now, as you can see here, because they're at war with the United Provinces, they're now within striking distance of each other. Riga and Courland are now diametrically opposed here. As you can see, both can jump across to attack one another. This really does put the cat amongst the pigeons. It really does throw either a spanner in the works of the Dutch campaign, and they're absolute thrashing here. I mean, they've even moved down to Transylvania here. That's how far they've moved down into Poland. I mean, Poland has been almost completely destroyed by a huge push by the Dutch. I mean, the Dutch have been throwing absolutely everything they can at the Poles, and it looks like it is working. However, they are going to start butting up against the might of the Russians. Indeed, Galicia backs onto Kiev, so they've got two, as I said, opposing forces within with a stone's throw of each other. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. And why is that important to us? Well, there's two reasons. The first is the capability of each of them to do us harm, to do the order harm, because, as you can see here, with Russia is hostile towards us, but also more importantly, so are the United Provinces, and in fact they are very hostile towards us indeed. Minus 121, not good at all, my friends. So we need to keep our allies with us, as it were. We really do need to keep them with us, keep them strong with us. They are at war with the Ottomans as well here. I don't believe, no, they're not. They're trade partners with the Ottomans. They need their allies with the Ottomans as well. So that could pose a problem for us, because of the Ottomans, if the Dutch move against us, the chances are that the Ottomans are going to stay neutral. They're not going to want to get involved. But as long as this trade keeps coming in, this is crucial to us. This port here in Thessaloniki is absolutely crucial to our trade. 33,082 of trade is moving in and out of that port here from our goods, of our services, of our trade. That's how important the Ottomans are to us. Now, I'm not saying for a moment that the Poles or the Russians are going to do anything against them, especially with the way that the Dutch are at the moment. But it's what they would do in a situation where the Dutch moved upon us. And to that end, the Council has been saying that perhaps it is time we do actually secure some of the British lands here. Perhaps we start to look now to build up towards taking Britain out. And indeed, to that end, perhaps we do move against the Bahamas here and Jamaica. Now we probably need to scout out what's going here, including ships. We do have an army here, a very powerful army indeed. Look at that. I mean, that is an absolute beautiful army. Look at that. That really has. And this army single-handedly captured everything you can see here. Every island we've captured here in the Caribbean is and has been captured by this army. That's why it is flying the flag so proudly here. And indeed, the general is really a master of the battlefield. He really is. But and to that end, also we've also taken Newfoundland. Now, I know there is a huge disparity in distance here between the lands we control here. But however, it does give us a good anchor, a good, shall we say, starting point, a good port from which we can sort of launch any attacks should they become available here into the North American continent. It really is. That forward operating base was the word I was looking for. So we've got that there. We've also got the trade here of 600. Now we can and will start to increase that here with the port. Now it's not going to give us a lot of trade here coming through here, because Newfoundland really isn't that sort of rich in terms of its natural resources, but it does have the furs, it does have timber. It will eventually go up to Greater States, which will also help there as well. Now the council did also recommend that we actually just nudge the tax levels up for the nobility up to 1 more to get as much money as we can off them. We'll just see if that affects the wealth, because we want to keep the wealth going. As you can see here, wealth is 26 years. We've got the wealth. We don't want to affect that at all. Let's just see if we do nudge this up here. Will it affect that growth at all in our major city? Let's have a look, because that's gone up now to 3168. So he's gone up to 15,570. We don't want that to be affecting it at all. No, it's not here. Food shortages, and not here either. Let's just quickly check here. No hit in the growth. What we've done is, see, we've kept the tax low on nobility, and it's allowed growth to stabilise and establish itself quite well. Oh, Goa. Nope. No, the growth has remained consistent. And that's excellent to see. But as you can see here, Bijapur, that there is they really aren't happy at all. Not one iota. But then we have had to remove the exempt from tax here, which we'll take. They've also been a call for us to move forces up here to join our allies here in Naroon and indeed in Lahore here as well, just to have that extra security and help them secure their borders against the Russians. I'm not sure if that's an attack by the Mughal Empire on the Russians, or if these are the ramifications of what's happened after the Russians attacked Baluchistan. Now, if that's the Mughal moving against Baluchistan, then they don't need our help. They quite clearly can deal with the Russians themselves. And even there as well, there's damage here as well. So what we're going to do is we're sending a spy up to here. There's our spy here, Lazaro Parini. We're sending up to the border here. We just want to cross and see what's going on here. Also, we've got to consider what we do with the British. Now, we're going to probably keep... There's also been a call for us to use dragoons to sort of free up the armies that are stationed here with these sort of major cities, particularly Arcot. What we'll probably do is do that. The council has recommended we actually get more dragoons here to keep the... As you can see, they really don't like us at all. Clamour for reform is 8 here. That's... We're going to have to get some dragoons in here to free up these armies. We're going to have to really do something. So, but we want to keep armies in situ. We want to keep armies in the theatre here. What if the British attack us? What if the Dutch attack us? What if something comes out of the blue we haven't expected? We have to have armies to defend the land we got. We can't be moving all our armies off and leaving only a sort of a skeleton crew, as it were, skeleton armies to guard our regions, our empire, as it were. It's taken such a long time, and so many lives and indeed resources have been thrown at getting what we have here. We don't want to throw that away by just simply moving all these armies out. As you can see, that's firm under control. But even then, if we move the army out, so we've got to get those dragoons in, as the council has said. But we are going to start moving some armies now, I think, more into these forward areas here, so that they can be sent here into Madagascar, and we will attack Britain. But we've still got to gather that sort of intel from Britain. So what we are going to do is we're going to start moving these armies into here. Look at that army, that's a wonder, sir. Now let's just set this gentleman on his course. Now he's not going to Britain yet. He is, however, starting to move so we can have the staging posts, the staging areas where they're going to be leaving. I think we'll have them moving from Mysore, I think, will probably be the best place. We'll gather our troops for the invasion of Britain in Mysore, which is our, dare I say, our de facto capital, as it were. I know we've got Satara here, but I'm going to move them just inland here. Actually, we'll just keep them hidden here. We'll just have them in here. Now we have finally completed security here. We've moved in a militia unit in here, so all the ports are secure. But look at the Dutch here. That's what we've got to be careful. If the Dutch decide to attack us, they will, without a shadow of a doubt, move the... I mean, look at that. That's the thing that... They've even got 24 pounders here. We've got to be vigilant here. We cannot take our eye off the prize here at all. If the Dutch decide to attack us here in India here, they can do a lot of damage, and indeed they'll probably strike and take one of these cities. Luckily, we've got fortifications around them, so it gives us a little bit of breathing space. But however, we've got to be vigilant here. So we've, on the one hand, we've got to build an army that's viable for the operation against Britain. However, we've also got to defend what we have, and where we are in the time where our enemies are very, very powerful, mainly due to the technology they have, and also to the veterancy of having so many battles. As you can see, we're trying to build this army into another army here. If we can get this army up here, that'll be another strike force. An army group and probably an additional army will do it for us, but it's going to take us some time, but we don't have a huge amount of gold coming in at the moment. And then we've got another army here as well being put together, so it's going to take us some time. As you can see, we're getting the guns ready here to move into Britain. And saying that, we've also had a call from the council for us to move into Ireland. Now, there was a call for us to strike against Ireland, then sort of fan outwards. There's also been calls from the council to actually strike at multiple places, Dublin, Edinburgh and London all at the same time. Maybe landing in Wales as well, and sort of striking from different directions, so the British aren't able to bring all their forces to one point to sort of, you know, stop our invasion in one area. We attack them from multiple points. What we are going to send is that we've got a spy in Britain, thankfully. We're going to send Gianluca Panonici to Dublin here. Let's see what... So just that there. They've obviously got look at that, but they've got a steam dry dockyard. What if we could get that? And also the council asked us, we've got modern university here, so we can actually get, if we got this, we could actually get all of our research done. But look at London there, that is absolutely booming London. But we will be striking against Britain, I can assure you, my friends. And of course, we mustn't forget what we have here. We have Algiers. Now, Morocco is aligned with the Dutch. I believe the Dutch are aligned with Morocco. Where are they? Who was it that was aligned with Morocco? No, it was the Mughal Empire. And is it Russia as well? No, just the Mughal Empire. So again, we don't want to have our allies having to decide whether they're going to fight us or break an alliance with us. So we've got to be careful what we're doing here in terms of diplomatic stance. We've got New Spain here, who've been long-standing allies of ours. And it's good to see that. We've got the Ottomans out here as well. And they're starting to pack quite the punch here with the fleet, which is good to see. Being an ally of ours as well. We've got Spain here as well. Look at the trade coming in out of here. That is absolutely a joy to see. It really is. That's moving along. What we want to do is we want the poles to collapse so that we can actually move into the East Indies and start trading there. We've only got 15,573. I'm hoping the tax income will start to climb, which will then, because we've got trade income which effectively takes care of army upkeep, tax income is taking care of the navy upkeep. But that's still 18,000. It leaves us with a small margin here, a small window. We do need more money. If we could take all of this, it would be a wonder. There's even council members calling for us to move against the Mughal Empire, which ultimately we will do, but not at the moment. We have to bide our time here, be patient. But to watch what's going on here with the Dutch is fascinating. Let's end the turn, my friends, here, and let's just see how things pan out here, especially here in the Eastern Front. That really is an absolute, well, what the Dutch have done here to the Poles is nothing short of extraordinary. It really is. Austria, just mind your own business, please, Austria. Nothing from you, please, sir. Oh, look at that. They're raiding the Ottoman Empire. Marvellous. That's the last thing we need, is to start raiding the Ottoman Empire, because it starts to hit our income. And I believe, if I was not wrong there, was that a port in Greece being attacked there? No, the Dutch. What have the Dutch done? Oh, should I say, what will they do? I don't think they've taken any more land here. See what the Poles do. Will the Poland strike back? I don't believe they can. No. What will the Ottomans do? Because the Ottomans are moving. Ah, look at that, and they've also started to put. Well, that's been a real fight there. But what are they doing here? It looks like they're putting a farm here to good use, which is always good to see. Now, come on now. That's more like it. Well done, sir. That's a large fleet. That's a large fleet. Looks like they've cleared that port up quite quickly. There's also been a call for us to actually move against Poland in its current guise and sort of not help the Dutch, but take the land that the Dutch haven't been able to take from the Poles. In other words, establish ourselves in sort of the Eastern Front, as it were. It's a daring plan, but I think it's one that would put us in too much direct contact with the Dutch. They don't like us as it is. If we start stepping on their toes and taking territory they are looking for, it could spell doom for us. Russia, what's Russia up to? Are they going to move against the Dutch? That's the key question, because, my word, that would be one heck of a tussle. So this episode is just going to be gathering our own resources, although our resources are finite. We can use them effectively, if we can gather if we can get the forces we have, and sort of construct the armies, the composition of those armies correctly to be able to fight in Britain. Because effectively, what we'll be fighting in the cities, not in the open, but in the cities. It's going to require a lot of firepower. It's going to require troops that are able to really take the fight to those forts, to those cities. That's what it's going to require. Looks like Russia's doing some work there in the background. I'm not sure on what. I really hope that Spain leaves us alone. Oh no, Portugal did leave us alone. It did attack one of our fleets, but then it left it alone, left the rest of our fleets alone. We really are just drawing in a staggering amount of trade from these trade nodes. It is huge. Sweden, Louisiana, who we have had trouble with in the past. Oh, look at that. Now it looks like the Mughal Empire is actually moving up to reinforce the border. Platoon firing. Excellent, sir. We're going to send these ships out to do, and to keep that trade coming in, because trade is going to prove vital to us. I'm going to go to West Africa in this particular instance. I think the next batch of ships will be sent to East Africa. We've had to abandon that there, but we're not going to be sitting on our hands here waiting. We'd actually send to East Africa. We could have lost them to the Poles, but no, we shall make use of them. Look at that wow, the Mughals have got first-rate ship of the line. That's fantastic. Look at look how powerful the Dutch are in this region. They are not taking any chances at all, are they? Excellent. Newfoundland has got upgraded here. Plantation in Goa is now at full steam. 1,500 there. Excellent. Because of the tea. Now, what is tea? Tea is 25, so that's why. And that's giving us what? 70 chests of tea. So what is our trade like for tea? Of course, the Ottomans are the Ottomans are drinking copious amounts of tea. 101 chests, 58 chests, 31 chests for Spain. As you can see here, look how much, 190 chests of tea from India. So India is our main tea exporter, and also our main 100 pounds of spice. 50 pounds of spice here from America. Look at how much sugar. Coast of Brazil, ivory from the Ivory Coast. Ivory from Straits of Madagascar, look how much. Just huge amounts. Cotton as well. And cotton is actually, wow, 37. 42 for spice. That's suddenly shot through the roof. That dropped quite considerably, but that's gone through the roof. Furs are only 20 here from America. And indeed sugar, which is only 17. But still, that's gone up. That's starting to creep up a bit here now. That's because trade's starting to creep up. Even though this is going up as well, which is good to see. Also, we've upped our tax level as well. And probably because, yes, there it is. That's the reason why. If we need to get joint stock companies, so we are going to do is we're going to stop. No, we've got joint stock companies already in production here. What does condensed marching give us? Not a lot. Movement speed. I think it far more appropriate for us to get machined rifling from here. Shrapnel shot. Percussion shells. We need to move on to here as well at some point. We'll probably move the Kasserine onto the naval. Probably looking to get lime juice and sauerkraut so we can get the naval hospital, which we definitely need. But alas, we cannot get heavy first rates for ourselves. Only these. Which is a shame, but that's what we've got to deal with at the moment. Sort of stabilised here at the moment. Nothing else has moved on. Are they still at war? We do need them to stay at war for a while longer. Yes, they are, and they're war with Russia. And looks like that was. Oh, yeah, look at that there. That was hit by. And oh, wait a minute. Looks like the Austrians are at war with the Ottoman Empire as well. Yes, they are indeed. Plot thickens. It's actually a very good leader. Front management, so he should be bringing in quite a bit here. They've got to look at the technology they've got, my goodness me. We could buy some off them, but I'd rather we deal with that ourselves. Now, let's put our operations into progress here. We need to. What do we have here? We're starting to put these together as well. What we might do is general for without a question. Can't put that in there because that's going to absolutely hit us hard with the clamour for reform. We're waiting for army board as well here. Only £12 here, that's the problem. We need to wait for ordnance board so we can get £24 for this one, here, for this army here. But we can, what can we recruit? We can get cuirassiers, which we will get. I think we'll take 4 regiments of cuirassiers with us. Cavalry is really vital. Oh, look at that. Absolutely, we're going to get water-powered cloth mill. That's going to bring in a great swathe of money for us. And there as well, I do beg your pardon, sir. Look at that naval hospital there, that would be absolutely fantastic to get that. Wow, look at that. First rate ship of the lines. We invest in our economy. We also need to invest here in our armies. What can we recruit? We've got these gentlemen being produced. 6 guns here for this army here. This army is going to be an absolute battering ram. We might as well send them down for this army here as well, I think. 2 of the guns, or 3 of the guns at least. I think at least another cuirassier and some heavy guns here as well. Foot artillery. 1 more regiment. I think we can probably end the turn here. I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on here with the Dutch. Let's end the turn. We're slowly building those armies. Look at that. We're just moving up here. Now, as you can see, the Mughal Empire is moving forces up there to where the Russians are. But are the Russians still there? What's happening in United Provinces? We don't know just yet. Spain is suffering deeply here because their armies aren't at full strength at all. But, hang on a minute, where are they going? Where are they going? Where are they going? That's a huge push. Is Spain going to move against the Dutch? Is Spain going to move against the Dutch? That would be an absolute... Now it looks like the Dutch offensive is actually ground to a halt for the moment. Might just be gathering their strength for another push here. The Ottomans are fighting at some point here. Are they fighting against the Russians or are they fighting against the Poles? The council also calling for us to form an alliance with the Dutch once we take Britain. That is something we will definitely look to do. What is Russia up to? I only wish that the Ottomans would make use of some of these buildings here. The port isn't expanded. This could be an additional port here. These buildings haven't been used at all. They've upgraded this to a farm, but I would prefer their expansion to be much more aggressive. Because in the long run, the more money they make from internal economy expands outwards to trade, which means we then benefit from that. What is Russia up to? It's taking quite the time here. There's Sweden. Economy, Spain, New Spain, an ally of ours as well. Got a lot of trade with New Spain, a lot of trade. Local Empire is definitely moving forces up to the borders here. Oh, where are you going, sir? Something is in the wind here with the Mughal Empire. Well, I'll be. That must be a Russian army. That has to be a Russian army. Indeed, it is. Look at that. My goodness, look at that general. Wow. But it's been absolute. Look at that. They have. So the Russians are moving against the Mughal Empire here, as we suspected. We're going to just quickly cross the border here. We're not going to get involved in this fight just yet. Wow, there it is. The Mughals have moved against the Russians here. And is there every chance they're actually going to move against... Oh. Now wait a minute. Is that a Mughal force here? We've got to gain intelligence because it looks like the Mughals are actually moving forces up through Ahmedabad here, through Gujarat into Naroon and Sindh here, because that was a real tussle. They must have given the Russians a damn good thrashing there. We'll keep an eye on that because the Russians will not be coming in here and taking these routes. If they do, we will move against them. But until that happens, we're going to just keep our composure. And now we need guns. Oh, look at that army, what a joy. We need 24 pounders.
Sì, mio sire. Pronti, in marcia.
So 17,004 has dropped look at that. 14,000, that's because that's gone up. We're going to have to get Army Staff College here. But not yet. What do we need in this army
Signore.
here? A general wouldn't go amiss.
Signore, I vostri ordini?
Now we need infantry. Without a shadow of a doubt we need infantry, because we've got guns already in production.
Pronti.
Good grief. That's a little bit more than we needed here. We can take 2 of these out. We want one army to pack a real punch. This army's going to be that. Like I say, we're going to transfer some of these guns to another army. There's going to be a lot of toing and froing here.
Signore, sì? I vostri ordini? I vostri ordini, maestà? Pronti agli ordini. In marcia! Avanti! Avanti!
Will they make it back? Oh, just about. Powerful armies here, which is what we need. Hopefully they can hold the Russians at bay here. We knew the Russians might move against them, and by Jove, they've done that. But it looks like Zehedan here is potentially under siege or under some kind of attack here by the Mughal Empire. Something is going on here, which we're going to keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, we're going to assemble our forces, but if we need to divert these forces up to this frontier and move against the Russians, that's what we will do. We're not going to allow the Russians to walk into the subcontinent and start taking what they don't and haven't earned. Not a chance. By then we'll have the forces to do that. Mark my words, we will have the forces to really punch pretty hard. Now, what do we need in here? Cavalry without a shadow of a doubt. No, gentlemen. Need 4 cavalry here and no gentlemen there. Still got 10,000. We need to get dry docks, we really do. Right. This army here is going to need guns, but again, until this is done, we can't get those guns. We need howitzers. How the howitzers can be. Patience is a virtue, my friends. Patience is a virtue. I wish we'd have got Hyderabad. We could have had all of the sort of the southern parts here, all just to ourselves. Excellent. More like it. $4,000. Look at that. The trade there. Poland, but nothing going into Poland at all. Which is exactly what I want to see. We could also move against the British forces there in Bahamas. That's well under control. Well under control. I think we might have to scout the Bahamas, I think. We don't lose any of our main ships in here, so we're just going to send one of the smaller rifts, as it were, to check out what's going on. What's going there? Nothing from the Ottoman Empire. So the Ottoman Empire has been cut off here for some reason. Russia's getting quite a bit. Mughal Empire is getting 1,000. 13 colonies still in full effect here. New Spain has done wonderfully well here, it really has. Look at that, 24,000. 340 there. What a wonder New Spain has been for us. If we can get the Bahamas and the Jamaica, that will feed into this trade line here from them. Give us a lot more income. Anything we can do here? Nothing we can do here at the moment. Army Staff College here, but again, we don't really need it. It's not vital at the moment. Ships are what we really need at the moment, and it's probably our biggest fleet there. Let's get all of these. Again, that trade node really is going to be vital to us. Keep that trade node here going. Alright, let's end the turn. Keeping us a firm eye on what's going on here. Austria's moving away now from Spain. The United Provinces, what will the Dutch do? Oh, they've taken that there. They've taken that there. They've now sealed off this one region left. It's been completely encircled. No, they've gone. It's gone. My goodness me, they've taken it all. The Poland is on the verge of collapse. It's on the verge of collapse, Poland. And the Dutch creating a huge empire. And could there be a conflict now with Russia? My goodness me, the Dutch are so strong. It's unbelievable. Is Spain going to move against the Dutch? Well, the Ottomans have got some pretty strong forces here. Where are they going to go with them? Russia? Is Russia now starting to move out against, or maybe to scout the Dutch coastline? That's a lot of New Spain forces there. What are the New Spain going to be doing there? Bukhan Empire. Look at that, they've taken all of this. They've taken Minsk. They've taken Moldavia. Wow, they are actually touching their allies here. Belgrade is... will they take Belgrade? But my goodness me. The only thing saving Poland here is the fact that we've got these... We've got Sweden here for some reason. The only reason that is because of the location of these, not enabling the Dutch to get across them very quickly, but I've got a feeling that these might be swallowed up by the Dutch as well. But look at the Dutch Empire. It is just vast. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. They are on the border of Russia. They're actually touching Russian territory. What will Russia's reaction be to that? Because, I mean, that is something else. Like, oh, 1,352. Why is that? Oh, that's why, because Spain's been cut off for some reason. That's going to hurt us. That is going to hurt us a lot. Oh, the Russians have hit Spain. Drats. Oh, we've got to deal with it. Let's get these fleets out there. We'll send them to... into East Africa. So if we can recoup what we've lost from Spain via these trade nodes here. to send these gentlemen through this route here.
Pronti.
Now we're starting to see. Look at that force. So we do need a general in here. I'll try and keep some of this money because, of course, that's apps. Look at that trade has really been hit there a lot. Our army keeps going up.
Signor sì. Sì. Signor sì. In marcia! Avanti! Sì, mio sire.
Oh. Wait a minute, why is that on fire there? Oh, the Mughal Empire they've taken Baluchistan. Well, I'll be.
La segretezza è assicurata.
They've taken, so they don't need our help. They're quite clear they're probably going for Persia then. Wow, the Mughal Empire is expanding quite fast here against the Russians, which is good to see. It's exactly what we want. Oh, excellent. Can we offset these now? Is anybody here? No. I don't. Is there anyone here? No, it is not. Yes, there is. Oh, that is excellent to see. That's more like it. Oh, excellent, look at that. Oh, steam powered cloth mill. Then we can really get some real money coming in then. We've got these have been, that's a wonderful sight, that really is.
Sì, vostra maestà. Spiegare le vele.
Accampiamoci.
Rotta pronta. Vele spiegate.
We need that joint, only 3 more turns, then we can start upgrading our ports. Oh, that 5,000, that really will help bring in and start increasing our, especially with additional trade routes. We're slowly building up these armies here. We also need to get dragoons in as well. We've got to wait. Hopefully Spain will sort itself out. We could always move, but it looks like the Mughal Empire is dealing with Russia itself. It doesn't need our help, which is good to see. The bigger the Mughal Empire becomes, the more money we'll be making. I'd love to take Ceylon here. Trincomalee. That'd be absolutely wonderful to take that island there. And indeed, talking of islands, what have we got moving along here? Let's have a look what the British have got in the Bahamas. Oh, that's... Oh, wait a minute. Where the blazes did they get all these troops from?
Pronti. Spiegare le vele. Ancora in perfetta
That's a lot. They've got a lot of troops on these lands, on these islands here. Where did they get these troops from? That's a little bit disconcerting there. We're gonna need more forces in here. They're quite clearly intent on keeping these islands here. We're gonna need at least probably 2 armies to battle into each of these. I know these forces are here, but will they be included in the fight? That's the problem. We'll have one more turn, my friends, and I think we'll probably end this episode then. It's one where we're starting to build up towards moving against Britain here, but if we can take Britain here, I wonder if the Caribbean islands would collapse. Let's end the turn here. Actually, just send in our spy. Oh, that's a powerful British fleet. Oh, good grief. That is ridiculous. We'll have one last turn, my friends, and then we'll end this episode here. We'll see what the Dutch have got in store here for the rest of the Polish Empire, what remains of it. And the provinces, are they going to finish the Poles off once and for all? We've kept a little bit in reserve here. Hopefully Spain will deal with that Russian fleet. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Spain. Thank you. No, there's no need to send. No, there's no need for that. That's more like it. That's more like it. Well done, sir. That's more like the Spain we know. Oh no! Looks like they're going to They're going to go hit the Spain back in Crimea. Poland. Ottoman Empire. If only the Ottomans moved against Poland or what's left of it. That really would suit them down to the ground. The more powerful they become, the more powerful we become. Russia. Nothing from Russia at all. Doesn't look like they're prepared to move against the Dutch at all. And New Spain has a huge amount of forces there. Look, our empire. Wow. Afghanistan. No, nothing at all. Yes, excellent. Ooh, 12,000. That's more like it. Good. Spain's got itself back on its feet. Excellent to see.
Siamo pronti. Signore, i vostri ordini? Vostra Maestà? Signor sì. In marcia!
And with that in... Look at that. 2 of these. And I think we'll...
Siamo pronti.
Just 4 there, so 4 slots there. We definitely need some more regiments. But also some dragoons, so we'll get some dragoons. Get colonial dragoons to help quell and begin to guard and garrison these cities here.
Pronti agli vostri ordini, Maestà.
And that, my friends, is our final action of this particular episode. We really have seen quite a lot of action here, and indeed almost ready here as well. We just need 4 more regiments, and with this army is complete. And then we are looking at, we've got 3, so that'll be 3. We've got 4 armies, 4 very powerful armies here. Let's quickly see what's going on up here.
Non posso farlo. Mi sto spostando.
Look at that. The Russians have had a sound thrashing here from the Mughal Empire. They really have. Looks like they tried to move against the Mughal Empire. Looks like the Mughal Empire just said, not a chance. That, my friends, is where we're going to end this episode, and my word, when we end it, look at that. Two powerful enemies bumping into each other, and looks like there's going to be a war of some sort here. Just the Dutch have just swallowed everything. The only reason they haven't taken the rest of this is because of the geographical location here of this. They've got Russia here, you've got the Ottomans here, and to move forces through, they're going to have to probably pull forces from here and take Hungary, Vienna, and Zagreb. Once they've taken those, that's Poland done. Poland is over, finished. What a fight by the Dutch. All you can do is just stand back and admire the sheer scope of their operation against them. It was a true blitzkrieg. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will be looking to move against the British very, very soon, my friends. Of that I can guarantee you. But they do have very powerful forces here. Look at that, in Ireland. That's just for Dublin. So we're going to have to really have our finest troops on the front foot here. We might even have to move from capital to capital, and keeping all our forces in one powerful sort of army group, and taking one city at a time, and sort of dismantling Britain, city by city. That's how we might have to do it, because we're up against some very powerful forces here indeed, and they won't buckle quickly either. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please keep your comments coming down below. Thank you for all of your wonderful support, my friends. And whatever you're doing, please be safe this week. But until next time, bye for now.